Nikki meets Lauren at the jazz lounge, and they talk about what a good job Claire is doing at Chancellor. Nikki mentions Victor, and Lauren says he's the reason she asked her to meet. Nikki, I need you to betray your husband. Nikki asks why on earth Lauren would want her to betray her husband. Lauren clarifies that she wants her to betray her husband's confidence. Nikki notes that she was there for her when she was off the wagon, and now she wants her to return the favor. She asks if this is about Michael. Lauren says Victor has him working on some project that has him deeply troubled. Nikki's sorry. They go over Michael risking his life for Victor. Nikki wants to help. Lauren says Michael's been tense after his recent meetings with Victor. He's obviously conflicted. Nikki guesses it has to do with Victor targeting Jack. She's begged him to let this go, but he's stubborn. She asks, what else has Michael said? Lauren says her husband admitted it was about Jack and Jabba but wouldn't give her specifics. Nikki wouldn't be surprised if he's enlisted Michael to further his vendetta against the Abbotts. Lauren explains that Michael doesn't like Victor's plans when they involve someone he is fond of like Jack. His eternal allegiance to Victor, however, runs deep. Nikki knows Victor does whatever he wants. Lauren is worried that Victor will push Michael into doing something he doesn't want to do. Lauren says she's worried that this time, her husband may not survive the fall. Nikki had hoped they'd seen the end of the war between the Abbotts and Newmans, but apparently not. She worries if her alcoholism hadn't gotten so out of control, the truce between Jack and Victor would have endured. Jack saved her, but Victor will never see it that way. Michael meets Victor at the ranch. The mustache wants to know if he has information he can use. Michael has some, but he's not sure if he can use it. Which one of your enemies would you like to talk about first? He quips. Victor wants to start with what's happening at J-Bot. Michael hates to be the bearer of bad news, but one of their moles is unhappy. Kyle's been asking a lot of questions, and the man feels he may be under suspicion. Victor guesses they want more money. Michael confirms this. He's hinted that if denied, he'll tell the Abbotts he's been spying for the great Victor Newman. Victor barks, the guy's threatening me. Michael told the guy Victor doesn't respond well to threats. Victor urges him to tell him again. Michael worries that they may have underestimated Kyle. Victor hollers, that's ridiculous. Who the hell is Kyle Abbott? Michael says he'll do the best to steady the nerves of their operatives at J-Bot. They move on to Aristotle Dumas. Michael reports that Damian Kane is half-brother to Nate Hastings via Nathan Hastings. Senior Victor's sure Dumas will take advantage of that. Michael agrees and adds, and there's more. Dumas has recently reached out to someone else in Genoa City, Billy Abbott. Michael doesn't know why, yet. Victor wonders at the man suddenly becoming so transparent. He must want him to know what he's up to. Michael says maybe Dumas is losing his touch. Victor feels he's letting them see the cards he wants them to see. Question is, what game is he playing? Michael and Victor keep puzzling over Dumas, who has revealed a connection with Billy Abbott and a connection with the family of the man Victor respects the most. His company's name is Arabesque, a French name, just like Glissade. Before the Abbotts and the Newmans owned it, it was owned by Tucker McCall. Michael asks if Victor is suggesting that Dumas may be Tucker McCall. Michael considers this. First, Dumas contacted Billy, who is his ex-wife's brother. He could be trying to win his way back into her good graces by bolstering Billy. Second, McCall has expressed interest in Winters. Victor muses, and Devon is his son. Michael says that thirdly, Nate is involved with Audra, who helped Victor steal Glissade from him. This could be a revenge play. Perhaps his treks to ashrams are a cover for his corporate machinations as Dumas. Maybe he's come back. At Crimson Lights, Jack gets on the phone with Traci and learns she hasn't heard a peep from Alan. They go over him possibly being his dead sociopathic twin. Jack doesn't like the idea of her talking to him, but she's sure if she ghosts him, he'll disappear. This is her story, and no one else can write it. She's spoken to his agent, and no one has seen him or heard from him. Jack decides he'll involve Jabat's security. If he's guilty, he wants justice. Traci cries, I can't lose him. If this is Alan, I want to spend the rest of my life with him. Jack says if he's Martin, he could end her life. Traci hopes she's wrong, but if she's right, she has to make sure he can't harm anyone else, ever. Kyle walks into Crimson Lights and watches his father's serious phone conversation on the patio. Jack warns Traci not to agree to meet with Alan alone. He needs to be in the loop to protect her, she promises. Traci cries, I thought he was the one. I thought he loved me. Jack tells her they love her for what it's worth. Traci says it's worth a lot and disconnects. Jack joins Kyle inside, and his son asks if everything's ok. Jack says he's fine. Kyle has a work issue to run by him. Jack and Kyle sit down, and the younger Abbott says something's going on with one of their employees. He has a feeling something's off. They had a conversation, and it went sideways. The nature of his questions bothered him. He wanted to know all the details about their product launch. The only thing is, he doesn't work in R&D, and the product is completely out of his purview. When he made a joke, the man got skittish and backtracked. He has a sinking feeling he's hiding something. The questions he was asking were about the exact same information Victor wanted him to find out when he was stealing the sunscreen from Jabat. Kyle says the man acted guilty and claimed to have a migraine. He didn't believe him, but thinks this could be a big headache for them. Jack froze. You think Matheson and Victor are working together? They deduce that he may have left people in Glissade to report back to him. Kyle thinks causing trouble at Jabat may be another way for Victor to get payback for what happened with Nikki. Kyle thinks there could be more than one mole, and this a method of payback for Victor. They better get to work on figuring out which employees are in Victor's pocket. Meanwhile, they should fire Matheson. Jack says that would be the easy way to handle it, but he has an idea how they can beat Victor at his own game here. He tells Kyle they need definitive proof that Matheson is working for Victor, but they can use it to their advantage because these people have a price. Kyle guesses he wants to up the ante, so they'll turn on Victor. Jack says anything that would wipe the smug look off Victor's face is money well spent. Diane wants to talk wedding plans, but Traci's not enthusiastic. Diane wonders if she's worried Alan will be disappointed not to get married in Paris. Traci assures her that Alan has promised her the wedding of her dreams. Diane asks her to be honest. Is the Abbott house really not her first choice for the ceremony? Traci can't tell her that right now. Diane assures her it will be ready. Is she worried she won't like the changes? I promise you, Traci, you are going to love it. It will be the perfect place for her and Alan to exchange their vows. Traci protests. With Alan away, she can't make all these final decisions. Diane knows her well enough to know that something's going on. She picked up on it with Jack earlier, and talking to her now confirms it. She asks if Traci's gotten cold feet. Is your wedding to Alan still on? Traci never imagined she'd fall in love again, let alone get married. Diane says this feels like nerves more than excitement. She's there and is happy to listen. She and Jack both care about her happiness. Traci tells her Alan has made her very happy. Diane urges her to tell her what's troubling her. Traci's phone rings. It's Alan. Traci acts unsettled as she contemplates the phone. At Crimson Lights, Jack mutters to Kyle about Victor not being able to let go of the fact that he helped his wife when he couldn't. Kyle switches gears and asks why his dad was so tense when he walked in. You've been checking your phone like you're waiting for bad news. He's been getting a bad vibe from him and Aunt Traci. Jack makes excuses about the wedding. Kyle knows what he's keeping something from him. Is there something going on with Aunt Traci and Alan? Jack sighs. He can't lie to him. We may have a real problem with Traci's fiancé. His dad explains he can't tell him what's happening. He promised his sister he'd keep her confidence for now. Kyle doesn't want anyone to take advantage of her big heart. Jack grumbles, "Neither do I." At the club, Traci tells Diane she has to take the call and steps away. "Alan, I can't tell you how good it is to hear your voice." Alan tells her he sent her flowers. She remembers he called her his wildflower. She asks where he is and when he's coming home. "You have no idea how much I want to look into your eyes and see the man I want to marry." Diane watches as she gathers herself after the call and returns to the table. She asks, "What is it, Traci? What is going on between you and the man you're about to marry?" At the ranch, Victor asks Michael to gather all the information he can to see if there's a connection between Aristotle Dumas, Tucker McCall, and Glissade. He asks Michael if he's still on board, given he's attacking Jibot. Michael points out he advised him to let it go. Victor rages about protecting his family. Michael assures his boss he can trust him. Just then, Nikki walks in. Victor gets a call and leaves the room. Nikki tells Michael she just had a long talk with Lauren, who is concerned about him. She knows he's conflicted about something Victor has him working on. "Why don't you tell me about it?" Michael can't do that. Nikki suggests that Michael could quit to protect himself. Michael asks who will then protect Victor from taking things too far. "We almost lost him, Nikki. I think I'll stick around and make sure he does too." Victor finishes his call, and Nikki tells him Lauren is worried that he's going to get Michael into trouble. Victor insists he's family, and he'd never do anything to hurt him. Michael joins Lauren in the jazz lounge, and she guesses he just came from meeting Victor. She can tell he's carrying a heavy burden. No one puts more burdens on him than Victor. Michael says he saw Nikki, who shares her concern. Lauren says going back to work for him was a mistake. Michael promises there will be no more Peruvian prison stays in his future. Lauren doesn't find this funny. She needs him to promise that he'll back away from him if he asks him to cross a line. Next on The Young and the Restless, Victor gives Lily unsolicited advice. Traci second-guesses her decision-making, and Audra receives an unexpected invitation.